Gen Z is cooked, guys. It's not looking good out there for us. And I kind of wanted to talk about how downhill things have gone and give a little background on my story here. I had graduated college with, I got a degree in biology, minored in chemistry, but regardless, it seems like it's done nothing for me so far. I applied to a ton of jobs fresh out of college. Granted, I probably should have tried to get an internship. I did apply to a few internships when I was in my senior year, and I didn't get accepted for anything. And to kind of give you an idea of how the kind of student I was not a screw off student or anything like that. I tried really really hard in college, and I graduated magna cum laude. I finished like a 3.8 something GPA. And pretty tough classes, STEM classes, so it's not exactly the easiest route. It wasn't the hardest degree in the world, probably, but not easy either. But yeah, that's now over a year ago that I have graduated from college with very good degree statistics or whatever. We have a good GPA, however you would describe that. And yeah, just to kind of give you an idea of what it's done for me so far, basically nothing. It's done basically nothing, except for cost me $30,000 in student loans, and I'm very fortunate to where my parents helped pay for some of my student loans. We split it, and I went to a school with a scholarship, so even then I still walked out with $30K in student loans. I can't imagine what you would be doing if you had no help from anyone and you were taking out government and private loans to get through college. You're probably walking out of college with 200K in debt, 100 to 200K in debt, 100K on the low end, just to get out into the job world, and nobody wants to hire you. It's such a disaster, man. But I did manage to get a full-time job out of college. It was not a good full-time job, and it did not require a college degree. I'm not going to say exactly what it was, but it was a job in a doctor's office. And I worked that job for about 8 months, and I just quit that job basically recently, because they were doing very shady stuff. Again, I don't want to put myself at legal risk or anything, but let's just say allegedly, I think they were cooking the books, okay? And I didn't want to be anywhere near that. My part of my job was billing, so I didn't want to be involved in that. The way that they were having me do these claims was crazy. I think they're going to get bit in the ass by that pretty soon. And it kind of just connects back to this whole idea that Gen Z are going to college, and they are, even if you are graduating, which a lot of them aren't, if you are graduating, you're finishing with a ton of debt, and you don't even have good job prospects. It doesn't really help you at all. I'm honestly at a point, I tried to cope for so long, but I'm at a point where I'm like, dude, I kind of just wish I didn't go to college at all, because what has it done for me so far? Basically nothing. It's done basically nothing at all, I guess, except for add one little extra slot to my resume that an AI is going to toss into the trash. And it's kind of scary. I don't know what the future is going to be for our generation. Let me just show you some of these statistics here. You probably heard a bunch of these by now, but I kind of prepared some of these. Dude, just reading these are insane. So, Gen Z, or not even, just Americans aged 16 to 24 have an unemployment rate of 10.8% currently not currently, in summer 2025. And it's still going up. That was up about a full percent from the previous year. That's over 1 in 10 people, and that only includes people who are actively applying to jobs, just for the record. So if you're just fucking off and you're not even trying to get a job, you're not counted in that statistic. And what makes that statistic way freaking crazier is if you are doing gig work, that counts as a job. If you make $10 a year on DoorDash, you are employed, which is nuts. At least that's as far as I understand it. And even worse, to skew the statistics some more, if you are working, let's say DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Walmart Spark, and you're doing that for 10 hours a week, you're technically working 3 jobs. That's how they're counted in this employment statistics, which is nuts. It's very clearly not a job that you can really reliably live off of. But when you really think about that, like the amount of Gen Z who are probably not being counted as unemployed because they're just door dashing, the unemployment statistics are probably way higher than they actually look, which is insane. And then add to that, this is the statistic that really blew my mind. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York reported that 42.5% of recent college graduates were underemployed in late 2025. Now, if you don't know what underemployed means, it basically just means that you're working a job that you could have worked with a GED or a high school diploma. So basically, it means that you graduated college with a degree that you paid $100+ for, just to get a job that you didn't ever need a degree for, and you wasted your time, essentially. And that consists of 42.5% of college graduates? What? And that was me, dude. I tried so hard, too, in college. I was not like the classic story of like, oh, going to college, you join a fraternity, you get hammered and do a bunch of drugs 24/7. Granted, I did mess around with substances, and I'll probably talk about that at a later date. But I really, really tried, man. I really tried as hard as I could, and I reached out for internships. I kept my resume updated. I did all the things. I went to my career or my job fairs. I submitted a ton of applications at job fairs at my school. And man, I just got out with nothing to show for it. And the job that I ended up working for was terrible. It was so awful. It was not like and I've worked a bunch of jobs, just for the record. So don't hit me with the like, oh, working's supposed to suck. It's not supposed to be fun, or else they wouldn't pay you for it. That's the type of shit my dad always says. And it's like, yeah, I totally agree. I'm not expecting to have fun at my job, but when you're coming home from your job and you're trying not to put a weapon in your mouth and pull the damn trigger every day, like, that's a problem, dude. And it's like the job prospects that you have, even if getting a college degree gives you a higher chance of getting some crappy job out of college that pays like $17 an hour, one, you can't live off of that, and two, the quality of those jobs are so bad that it's almost not even worth it. It's almost like you should try to fucking start your own business or something. You should do something else with your life, because it's not worth it. Yeah, 42.5% are underemployed. And on top of that, we are also fighting this whole layoff market. So many jobs are laying people off at huge, extensive rates. And because of that, if you go on Indeed, every single job has like 1 million applicants by the time they're posted for an hour. It's like, if you're not the first one, and even if you are the first one, it'll be for like an entry-level job that should have required no experience. 10, 20 years ago, it would have required no experience, and they would have trained you. But now they have like senior-level employees that are trying to get into these entry-level jobs again, because the market's so boned, dude. It's so over. The amount of competition that you have is crazy, and you're competing against people who have been in your industry for 10, 20 years, who have just gotten laid off. They're no doubt going to be a better employee than me, because they've had all the experience, and they probably should be in like a senior level position, but they can't get those anymore. So it's like, what are they going to do? They're gonna gun for a lower spot, and that's exactly what they're doing. Gen Z are also not exactly a favorable group to hire. I can't remember what the exact statistic. Let me see if I can pull it up. 55% of employers believe Gen Z graduates lack a strong work ethic, while 60% of employers report being hesitant to hire them, citing early turnover issues. So it's like, even if you are a great candidate, most boomers don't want to fucking hire you to begin with. It's not exactly like, I don't understand how this is going to go anywhere but be a massive catastrophe. In 10 years, this is going to be a massive catastrophe if this doesn't turn around somehow. Like, are Gen Z really that bad? Is it really our problem that 60% of the generation is apparently not cut out to work? Like, what does that say about our upbringing? What does that say about the schooling system? What does that say about everything? I don't know how much of the blame we can take whenever it's so massive of a population issue. That's a huge percent of the population. 42% is underemployed, and 60% of employers don't want to hire Gen Z at all. It's like, holy shit, man. And if you do get an employer that's open to hiring you, you have to fight against senior level executives. And then if you do get the job usually sucks. And it pays so little money that you're barely surviving. You're barely surviving. Let's see. Let's look up what percentage of Gen Z are still living with their parents. 47. 47% of Gen Z college graduates who finished school within the last 5 years are still living with their parents. And 66% of graduates who finished college within the previous 2 years were living with their parents or relatives. It's like, dude, I try to be a hopeful person, but it's like, it feels like it's over for us, at least for the next 5 years. Like, I don't know if this is going to get better for a while. I do have faith that it's going to turn around eventually, because you can't just have an entire generation of people going unemployed for this long. The fucking society will collapse, you would think, at least. And the whole future is going to be boned. Like, if an entire generation of people gets into power and they have no experience doing anything, I don't think that's going to go too well. So I do have faith that this will turn around, especially as Gen Z kind of matures a little bit. But I can't lie, man, this shit is depressing, and I don't have a solution. I'm like totally the kind of person that'd be like, you need a solution, you can only do what you can do. But the longer and longer stuff goes on, the more it's like, what am I even trying for? I don't know. But I guess hold out hope, everyone. Like, you never know. We've had terrible times before. We've had the Great Depression. We've had, but I don't know. This is going at a crazy rate, especially with AI. And then you add on top of that like the world is on fire, metaphorically and literally. It seems like everything's just going to shit, man. I don't know how else to frame it. But yeah, I guess my advice out there would be, do what you can do. Take any job that you can get. Having any dog shit job it looks better on a resume than being unemployed. Very ironic for me to say, because I just quit my job. I quit that job for legal reasons more than anything. But yeah, you don't want gaps in your resume if you can help it. So yeah, do whatever you can do. If you're really struggling to get a job, I hate to say it, but like getting a CDL might not be the worst thing in the world. And personally, I've been really considering signing up for the damn Air Force, because it's like, at least I'm guaranteed a job there, pretty much, as long as you can pass your physicals and everything. And God, that is never the route I expected to take with my life. Going to the military. I was like a sworn against a military person for my entire life, but I'm at the point where it's like, maybe I do got to do that, because at least they'll be able to pay me and I won't have to worry about housing very much. I don't know. The last thing I'll say is, like, Gen Z's parents are going to die within 30, 40 years probably. What are we going to do? If we don't turn this around as a society, like, we're kind of all screwed. And then Gen Z's not having kids because they can't afford kids. And the dating market's its own whole thing. I'll probably make a video about that eventually too. But it's like, if we're not making any money, we can't avoid housing. There's an insane amount of job competition. You can't get any entry-level jobs. So you can't build experience. You can't really build any useful skills because you're not getting the even like a foot in the door remotely. And you can't start a family, you can't buy a house, you can't do any of the classical things that marks success, right? The meters of success that people would try to make. If we can't do any of those things, and 20 years goes by and our family or our parents are starting to get senile and get to that age where they're going to start dying, something's got to change, man. Something's got to happen, because this is crazy. I don't know. Get a CDL, I guess. Sign up for the military. Take advantage of nepotism if you can. if you know some people in your family that are like Gen Xers, Boomers, whatever, working good jobs, and they can hook you up, take advantage of that. Fuck everyone who says nepotism this, nepotism that. If you can take advantage of nepotism, you absolutely should. Don't ever be too prideful to take advantage of what your family can do for you, man. But a lot of us are in a position where your family can't really do anything for you, and you're just kind of on your own. And for those in that situation like me, man, I wish you all the best. If you do have a full-time job, cling to it as long as you physically can, and keep sending those job applications out, and just keep on trucking, I guess. Try to stay healthy in the meantime. Try not to lose your mind. Understand that fucking everyone in our generation basically is going through this. It's like 1 in 2. You have a 50-50 shot. It's a coin flip whether or not your life is in the toilet. So you're not alone. And I'd imagine, since the problem is so widespread, eventually something will happen to change it. We're just kind of in the peak of the dog shit era. The dog water era. That's us, baby. We're the dog water generation. Let's fucking go. But yeah, anyway. If you guys enjoyed this video, I think I'm going to start doing these since I got some time on my hands now. I just kind of wanted to run through that kind of stuff with you. Hope y'all are having a good day. Hold your heads high, damn it. It's not all our fault. It might be partially all our fault, but it's not all our fucking fault. So yeah, see you later, guys.